Welcome to the Aropl Balkans channel. I'm sorry for the delay and welcome another episode of basically speaking about the religion, speaking about basically cohesion about religion, and speaking about what purpose does it have to be religious today. So let's get right into it. Hopefully today I'll be joined by some guests, inshallah. But if not, it's not necessary. It's not like I can do like without guests as well. I'm sorry if I'm not like in the position right now to be some kind of check or something. But it's alright, like so. If anybody wants to join it, is more welcome. Is most welcome, and we can speak about many things. About what is the purpose of religion, what is the purpose to be speaking about, like cohesion about religion, and why is it important to like have a religion today. So basically, I made a post on Facebook today. Why is it important, to know the history, Why? Because it's basically important that we have a like understanding of history, because if we don't understand history, we ain't learning nothing. We don't have anything to do about knowing about religion and why religion is a man. Like none at all. As far as I see it, as far as I understand it, if we, at least if we are not trying to understand, religion, and we are not trying to understand history, and we're not trying to understand different sciences, we won't understand why are things the way they are. We won't, because basically you can be as good man as you are, and you understand every religious book there is. But if you don't understand like why certain things happened, why certain things are the way they are, you are not like being a truthful person if you keep lying to yourself, if you keep like believing, that this world is a permanent abode, or for example, that this world is like, now I will, I don't know, like grab some opportunity, and be happy for the rest of my life. We all know that this is not the case, like that. Of course, like the divine just state should be established. Why? Because basically every religious book, every prophet, every messenger, and whichever person was claiming to be religious, he was talking about it. At least in monoteism, he was talking about establishing the divine just state and establishing some sort of justice for people, that basically people would live in peace, that people would live like more or less peaceful, and the way that is I don't know, appropriate for a human being, appropriate for existence on this abode on this planet, and to exist in a coherent way, and to understand each other. Because we are not understanding each other, if we're I don't know, being at war with Christians all the time, or being at war with Jews all the time, or being at war with or be calling other, as a Muslims, that we should be calling each other and other people kafirs, you are not benefiting from a relationship if you are calling other people kafir, are you? Or you are not getting any understanding of the religion if you're doing that, At least as I see it, why should I call someone a kafir if he calls me a kafir? Because basically what it is, you're getting into a conflict, you're getting in this circular argument situation, you're saying that you're kafir, he's saying that I'm kafir, and you're getting angry, he's getting angry, everybody's getting angry, and things just in words, just gets into this accusation victimizing game, which is kind of tiring, and I see it all the time when speaking about religion, all the time maybe someone comes and say, why are you saying these things, why are you defending this man behind me, why? Because he is making sense, he's speaking sense into your head, because nobody of you who knows so much about religion is doing that, no one. Like, every religious scholar, teach, as I see them, they just want to act smart, even if I go like, I saw these battles online. I saw, for example, what was the name, like Muhammad Hijab, like Hyde Park, like these tough guys, Shia, Blade Runner, and these heavy metal dudes, heavy metal dudes, like proper dudes from the street, like, who had the street cred. I saw them, they're pretty tough. I don't deny that, They have very much knowledge about things they say. But like if you're speaking about religion, why should you like be like this macho guy? I read, I like totally destroyed him with this hadith. You can do that, like showing knowledge about religion, but if it's not benefiting, like what did you even gain? Like winning like a verbal battle about religion in Hyde Park. Come on, man. If you wanna do like battles, do poetry battles, go to like freestyle contests and do a battle rap and speak about religion. If you think you're so tough, like enter some tournament, go battle, like Iron Solomon and these dudes, you will see how you will end, because I can assure you will end up pretty badly, But of course, you guys from Hyde Park, you can try rapping, you can like try your stuff in freestyle raps, maybe the MTV doesn't exist no more, but you can certainly try, it's not too late yet, like to make it, like of course you missed, for example, 80s, 90s, 2010s, and now we are in the raging 20s, as some guys who are like geo-experts of politics in some ways say, So I guess, we're on our way there, So as far as I go, I see, speaking about religion, like I don't know, as I see you see on my channel, if you go like on the Aropl Balkans channel, you can see that I have absolutely no problem like putting like modern mood music here, I'm sure that, be sure that I know also that there's a hadith that like Dajjal will be playing beautiful music, but this is like, like Dajjal for me is like this, we surely know who is greater, Dajjal, it's America, as a like a system, it's like we're talking about American system, we're not talking like America about the nation or like a continent America, we're talking about American system, but as far as I see it, like playing music for me is like everyday thing, even if I'm driving somewhere, like I'm in a bus, for example, I'm in a car, riding somewhere or going somewhere on a journey, like why should I like say, I don't listen to music, you shouldn't be, like, what will I, I will just get into trouble, like, because we for surely know, that in this system we have to adapt, we have to like be cohesive, be basically coexisting between us and like cooperate, otherwise we won't achieve nothing, and we won't like go and nowhere as a human race, or humankind. So yeah, this is as this goes. So I basically, I'm not being too long, so this was like a prologue about it. So let's see where I left yesterday. So what I did today was that I left a comment on Facebook, and I was talking about the example of how Roman Empire came and how they hijacked the religion. So this is very important. You see, they basically, as I see it, and what Abba Salik says, the Romans turned Christianity into the polytheistic religion, and they twisting the meanings and the interpretation also of the Old Testament through the New Testament. and they changed Jesus from being a prophet to being God. What Constantine did in Nicaea, he did exactly that. And so obviously the New Testament corrupted the Old Testament, who is also corrupted. They don't know what's going on. So basically, the sacrifice actually was basically not even Isaac in the Old Testament, but it was Ismail, which says in the Quran. And we need to focus now on the fact that Muhammad came, and we are God's chosen people. We are, like, as a humanity, of course, and as a supporters of Abba Sadiq, and following the Imam of your time. Like, it's like, like, if I explain it to you in hip hop terms, it's like Rakim say follow the leader. It is the same thing, like Magnus Manifesto is talking about follow the leader, and Abba Sadiq is talking about the same thing, he's talking about that you should, in this time and age, you should follow your Imam, whoever you believe it is, like me, I believe that this man behind me is the Imam of my time. Religiously speaking, he is speaking the truth, and if I need or want to follow any religion, I'm following this man. Why? Because he's speaking the truth about religion. This is very simple, very to the point, and very understandable for everybody who is talking with me about religion. We can exchange words, we can speak plainly, you can show it to me in Arabic language, how fluent you are in Arabic. You can, I don't know, like sing me Arabic songs, like you can play me like concerto in B-moll, like how poetic like the Christianity is. You can do like Christian choirs in churches, with all the best organs played, but you can't be speaking to me about religion if we're not speaking sense here, if you're not speaking reason, logic, and religious text, throughout history and the history itself, Why? It's because of the simple fact that like there are academics who are supporting this religion and are saying that actually this religion is making sense, and because the case of this religion is being speaking about, as you know, and as our enemies know, in the United Nations, not because like we are being like a cult or we are being an extremist. No, it's simply because of that they think that we should be protected as such, like because they believe, even like academics believe, if you ask Massimo Introvigne, he believes that Abba Sadiq is speaking truth. Why? Because he knows that he is speaking the truth, Why? Because he even came in the UK to be guest here, He did, if you go like on Mahmad Religion of Peace and Light, like on the channel, he did a whole interview with Arya Rastor and Sister Helen Puri, and you can, it was like 1 hour and 50 minutes interview, you can look at it, you can watch it, and why would like all these people come here and defend Abba Sadiq and Ahmadi Religion of Peace and Light if we would be like such a horrible people, we would be doing such a horrible things, and we wouldn't be speaking sense about religion, Why? Like why would these people like lose credibility? Why would people be losing their credibility and come here and not speak sense into people and like lose their basically respect among the academics? Why? They wouldn't do so, if they would know that this made sense in some way or the other, because surely not everything makes sense to everybody, like even to some people something makes sense, something makes sense to other people, and for sure we as people are different in many ways about different things. Some people say that something make more sense to them. Some people say that some other things make sense to them. But for surely, if we agree about something, we must agree about religion. So it's important, because I am like comparing now what Abba Sadiq said before, because he said that if we want to know like about religion, we should know about all three books. We should know about Torah, we should know about New Testament and the Gospels, and we should know about the Quran. Like, it's like a trilogy, we should know like about all these things that happen throughout history in the religion, in the monotheistic religion, if we want even to start speaking about religion. You can like send me here like a expert in Islam or expert in Christianity or extra expert Jew, about the Torah, Even if you bring me like some guy who knows like the Tanakh, all the books of Tanakh and all these basically narratives, like a hadith of like Jewish tales, is like Louis Ginsberg wrote like these legends about the Jews, and of course these Jewish people have many traditions which they basically have like their own books in which they tell stuff to each other which they don't tell to other people, because like it's like the things of the Hebrews, But if you speak in religion, I'm quoting a verse that I said it today basically I posted it on Facebook, and it basically said that the pure monotheistic religion is here now, and we need to move forward. So Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he came to all the worlds. God does not prefer a person because of the color, creed, or because of the race, or because of the skin tone. So we need to focus on being good people, We need to focus on updating the new commandments, the new jurisprudence, and the Torah, it was abrogated. It was, this is done, So the Israelites, they lost it all, It was like corrupted and they lost it. So they even lost their law, Like jurisprudence, the Hebrews lost it and they weren't able to carry it. And now we have a better law because Abba Sadiq put it out, and a more perfect law that is adequate for all mankind. As Abba Sadiq put it, it's not such a complex thing, but religiously speaking, this is it, So it's such a mess, because everybody wants to like establish something which they couldn't achieve if it's not making sense, You surely can try, but it truly looks weird, doesn't it, Because if you look at it, like if you're putting like, I'm speaking about like Islam, If you're speaking about Islam, you can put like Pope and the guy from Al-Azhar University, the Grand Mufti of Al-Azhar. You can put both of them together, and they can be even like kissing each other on the camera and putting them on the front pages of the magazine. But for surely, if these guys talk, they can surely shake hands and speak how we like, we will understand each other. Come on, let's kiss each other. Where are you? Peace be upon you, wa alaikum salam, and they can be very good friends, which surely they were, before Pope Francis died, like Abba Sadiq prophesied. And look, it's up to people what they believe, but for surely I didn't see any discourse which makes sense or logical, like even a sense of a sense, like even an iota of sense, between the Mufti of Al-Azhar University and Pope Francis. I didn't. I never saw these guys speak. I never saw exchange of words like in some articles about being Islam making sense, because basically other guys did that for them. It was more of a sort of elevation of other matters, which are to some guys known, and they're surely known to some people, which are standing in institutions of different denominations of both religion, mainstream ones. But religiously speaking, basically, if we see Jordan Peterson and other guys having online debates, they did a lot more for speaking about religion than anybody else did, especially Pope Francis and the Mufti of Al-Azhar. So yeah, interesting situation that we have now. But people focus basically today on their differences, and that's what has caused us all the war and the chaos and the murder and the bloodshed. Basically, this thing, haven't focused on the corruption ground. They haven't focused on the fact that all of them trace their origin to Abraham. All of these religions, Christianity, Judaism, basically the basically Hebrew religion and Islam are Abrahamic religions. They haven't focused on the fact that they are all alleged that they worship the same God. They haven't focused on the fact at the very end on it and their brothers and sisters in humanity. So they're basically Christians, Jews and Muslims are fellow human beings, and this all at the end of the day there's only one of four possibilities. So possibility A. So we're talking now about like possibilities. Let's do probability calculus. Thank you, Sana. Blessing and peace be upon you as well, my sister. Thank you for encouraging words, and thank you for being here. You always come, here in support and drop, rewards for my channel, and thank you for that. I hope that you're having nice time in the US. Here is a bit late, but I hope it's like 3 o'clock there, so I hope it's still bright out there. So the possibility A is that the Jews are right, and all the other stuff that came after that is nonsense. So this is like the Jewish paradigm, and that is in the very end of it, all the Jews are going to be verified. All the Jews are going to be validated, and the Jews are going to be raised above all the nations, either as they see it, and everybody else is going to be forced to be like, oh my God, this all. I won't say it. They ended up at the end being right, like all of us were wrong, the Jews were right. It's what a shame, we lost it, and that's what some of the rabbis say. If you listen to these rabbis, they say exactly that. In the end, you have this. Isaiah talks about a very ugly person or a nation that people didn't think was going to make it, but they actually made it, and God chose them and redeemed them in the end. He was disfigured, and that's a possibility for them. For them it is. So let's go to another possibility. I'm just paraphrasing what Abba Sadiq said. Don't think that I made it by my own mind. I am kind of clever, but I'm not that clever that I would be saying this from my own. So another possibility to that the Jews and the Muslims and everybody else and the whole world sees that actually Christianity was right. Christianity was right, and that Jesus was Almighty God. And for all these years, people mocked Jesus. They did. They mocked Jesus, and they rejected Jesus. They oppressed Jesus, and he was so good that all he wanted to do is to save mankind. The only thing, Jesus ever wanted to do, was to die on the cross for sins of mankind. And why? To save mankind. He wanted to do it for mankind. This is the Christian. Jesus was God, the Christian's paradigm. And all you had to do is just believe that he died for your sins, and you would be saved. But you have a problem. Why? Why would you have a problem? Because in the whole New Testament, Jesus never mentions that he is a God. You can't show to me, none of the Christian pastors can show me in any Bible the passage that Jesus said that he is God. You can show me I'm Alpha and Omega, before Abraham was I am, and these sort of things. But I can explain you as Abba Sadiq explained it. I can answer you that why those verses are there and how they came about. Why? Because Abba Sadiq dropped like to 170 lectures on his channel, speaking about Christianity, speaking about different passages in Torah and in the New Testament. So this is why we would be like speaking very briefly about these things. Why? Because I would show you the passages. I would basically show you in which passages Jesus or some other prophet is saying something and why. Surely Christians would object with me. Why? Because they see it like in another light. And for surely from the point of Christianity, I would have to agree with them. The way they see it. It's completely from my perspective. They have walaikum salam. They have the right. Christians have the right to see it their own way. Why? Because we live in this age. And if they believe, that some guy who they follow is their leader and their representative, and they have for surely the right to follow him. Their pastor, their whoever, preacher in the church. But they will have to know that this preacher, who they believe, will lead them to whichever way he will lead them. If they follow him, because you should know that it's not in vain these things that are written in Revelation. That in the end times, the many false prophets will rise and they will speak in Jesus' name. But to them, Jesus will say, I never knew you. Depart from me, you filth, and go to where you came from. To your pastors, to your televangelists, and to your sources which you believe. Which you're defending, and to you, to whom you belong. To whom you belong, you shall return. So this is very simple for me to understand, and for surely it is for everybody else, and that for sure we everybody understand that at this point. So we have possibility 3. We have the third possibility. We have a guest. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, dear brothers?
I'm good. How are you? Are you okay? This
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. Do you have a question for our viewers?
Sorry?
If you have a question for our viewers.
No, I'm very happy to listen and people to open their mind and
That's cool.
to understand and قائم على محمد هاشم.
That is very nice. God bless you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the problem of people,
Yeah, of course. The problem is that people use their minds,
Now the truth,
Yeah.
that's not good. Now the truth is in front of your hand. And now there is the internet revolution, there is technology.
Yeah.
You are searching for right or for truth. But if you are want to stick in darkness and in that situation, it's up to you.
Yeah. I mean, I basically encourage people. Right now I'm having like a presentation about basically speaking. Connecting all these dots, all 3 religions. Because for me, to speak about religion is like knowing all 3 books. Because for example, the Muslims say, no, Christians are wrong. Christians are saying no, Jews are wrong, and Jews saying no, Christians and the Muslims are wrong. So why not connect all 3 books together? Why? Because this is historical fact. Because no,
anyone say I am right.
Yeah,
I am right.
Nobody wants to admit. Nobody, because all of them are wrong at some point. Mainstreamly.
All of them.
And just Abbasadic, just we are right, speaking about truth about religion. Just Ahmad religion of peace and light. Nobody else, because it is even academics support us in historically speaking, if I could look, if now I bring an academic, if we bring, a proof upon the scholar, we can do it very quickly. I can bring an academic And I will be speaking to an academic and the most prominent scholar, whoever you want to bring. I'm basically bringing a challenge to you. You can bring any scholar and bring me academic, and I can speak to both of them, and I can prove to both of them that Abbasadik is right. What about that? Academic will support me because atheists will for surely go with Abbasadik before any scholar, for sure. That I can guarantee you for sure, 100%. I'm being entirely sure that whichever scholar you bring, that historically speaking, in all history books, in all
stories is proven by devil other people.
Yeah, of course. Because it's by the net. It is because these scholars are corrupt. It is because they're living secluded from other people who bring them money and gifts, like some idols from the time, these statues, of, I don't know, they bow down to the statue, you will gain so much, it's like people are acting praising something it is you can know that by hadith, that basically the Mahdi will have more trouble with people than Prophet Muhammad. Why? Because Prophet Muhammad, he was dealing with the idols of stone, but Mahdi will have to deal with the live idols, These people are as good as dead, These people are as good as dead because they are dead. Spiritually, these people are dead, because they basically
10,000 years the people is support tyrant and support the people have power.
Of course, they are
support,
enforced by tyrants. Of course,
with a messenger.
Yes.
And people is chosen by God. This is a problem,
Exactly.
Only support someone have power.
Yeah. So we have another guest. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you.
Alright, brother. Nice to meet you, and I will see you later. Thank you very much.
Okay, Amar. See you later, and have a nice day. Hopefully you enjoy your day in your way. How are you, brother? Wa alaikum salam. How are you this evening?
Very good.
That's cool. So, do you have any questions about Ahmadi religion of peace and light, or are you just dropping by synchronistically, because you drop by because you want to know something?
No, alhamdulillah, I believe,
You're a believer in Abbasadik, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's very good, because today I'm basically bringing the discussion up about possibilities to finally, speak about religion openly. Because Abbasadik made this beautiful lecture, which I for sure see it as one of his best ones. I see it like opportunity to basically see these possibilities, who is right, which possibilities are we left with, and to speak how people think, what do they expect about their final destination, It for surely is interesting, because we are all going to arrive somewhere, won't we, we are all traveling somewhere, in time, of course, even if we're static, even if I'm just talking right now, I'm not traveling, we are on our journey, we are basically in this spiritual journey, or you can call it universal journey, and for surely we are going to arrive somewhere, even we're speaking in space travelers, if you see it's not a rock, if you see superstars like Miley Cyrus and these pop stars, they wanted to go into the outer space, they did, they basically sat in the space shuttle and they said we want to go, and I put a video of them on the channel, they went into outer space, they came back and because they came back because they needed to come back, they went up there and see that it's not some super world out there, outer space is not heaven, so we are not speaking about that, for surely people understand that we are speaking about the afterlife. That even if you go to maybe there is some way through the ozone layer. I'm not saying there is, some way through the Van Allen bit. For surely, some people know if there is, if it's not. But I'm not acting that smart. I'm not even speaking about that. But I'm speaking about religion. I'm speaking about these possibilities. So possibility free, for example, what the Romans think. I mean, not the Romans, but basically this denominations of religion. So the Romans corrupted the religion, Christianity, but Jesus was a prophet. So Muhammad came to all of the world, and Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, had a great success. He had a success, and his religion was the fastest growing religion. In the world of the fact, he was a true prophet, because if he wasn't, the religion of Islam wouldn't be that vastly accepted. And the religion of Islam is true. I admit that the religion of Islam is true, and in the very end, the Mahdi will be victorious, and Islam will spread all over the globe, whether the people like it or they don't like it. And anybody who stands against Muhammad stands against God, stands against Allah, and God will give victory to his messenger and his seed, because this is prophesied. Religiously, this is according to all three religions. Because why? Because Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the final prophet. Speaking coherently, through the hadith, through the narrations, through the history, through all the three books. This is it. Or we have possibility for that all of this is a lie. This is a possibility for that this is a lie.
A lot of people
Say that. Yeah. They say it's a lie and it's all false. This is a possibility for.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
We always think about people who are confused on the planet.
Yeah.
And it's true, but also when you have a lot of money, you see, because when you tell me about the spaceship, when you have a lot of money, you know the meaning of it. You see, all religion tells us to worship God, but then God is high.
Yeah.
You see,
It's veiled.
it's like you
No,
tell
not
me.
hidden, it's veiled.
Yeah, you see, it's like you tell me, get the key, and then I hide the key.
Yes.
And you will ask me, what's the So God wants us to worship Him and He's hidden. You see, this is a big question mark. It's either we didn't understand God, God, it's a lie.
Yeah.
But now the people came to us and told us that that's not the point. God wants to rule. God wants to rule through a man. You see, now this makes sense. I mean, this can everything else. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Now
Yeah.
I can see God as a merciful God. Because before I thought in my head, what's the point?
Yeah.
I can't see through. I can't see the angels. And you're gonna throw me in hell. And what's the point?
Exactly. It's like that. You don't have a religious books or books for that sort for nothing. Even when you read a book, by certain author, some books are even some novels are there for a reason. They are not written just out of because some people want to be famous. Some people just can't write the truth. They can be that bold, to write the truth because it's maybe not so good for them. Speaking about truth about religion can be kind awkward, and you can end up in not such a nice position regarding this book. And this is basically what Abbas Sadiq is saying. And basically, if you see what's happening for the people who are members of our religion, is that our believers, our members, are oppressed ones. They speak to our members. If you see the attacks from Muslim people, oh my God, we are being smeared and attacked in most disgusting way. People speak about different kinds of like trash about us. They attack our members. We're doing such and such things, and not just Muslims. Even the Christians and like atheists are like speaking about Abu Sadiq like most like inappropriate way. Like what? But it's like they don't tell you. They basically smear on baseless grounds. Like on baseless claims and attacks, and they're basically proving nothing. I could be like, if I would be like 24/7, like doing stuff, but I don't. Like I will be basically, searching like these guys out and like making like videos against them. I did some of them even. Like I have some of the plans to do it. Some guys who really smeared. And you won't believe it. Even they put my face. The episode Abu Sadiq did with me. Like that. They're basically saying about me. Look at like about me. Who is this guy? Like. Look at him, he's this is an extremist, like they show me my face, look, like Abu Sadiq speaking to me, it's like now this guy, this is it, this is like the, can you imagine, like they portray me like such a bad guy because he said that Abu Sadiq said that the flood of blood is coming, it's like, what is the like flood of blood didn't already come, like
No, there is,
if you see what's happening in all over the world, like
and all the
people
priests
died.
and the sheikhs,
Yeah.
they say that. All the religious scholars, they say
Not
that.
not
and
just
nobody-
priests and sheikhs, like Christians say, how could he say that the flood of blood? Why wouldn't he say it? Their book, if you look at Book of Revelation, their book says it, that these things will come. You didn't.
Well, I mean, look, if you
to have
live in a
Abu Sadiq.
war zone, if you live in a
Yeah.
war zone and your house
Yeah.
being destroyed,
Of course.
and a member of your family being killed,
Yeah.
and someone like Abu Sadiq said the blood come, you said it's already there.
Of course. I mean,
Yeah, but
yes.
you relax in your country when they
Yeah, I mean,
say and you're angry
but
about it.
they change it. They turn it around. Like Abu Sadiq said, something extremist. They like makes like sounded scandalous. Like what could he say something like that? Like we're living in such a peaceful world. Such a beautiful world where nothing was ever wrong. Why did he have to say that? I mean, like they're pretending like this guy is like the biggest extremist. Why? Like if you look at the events around the world, I mean, like, you have wars like all over the globe, like in every sort of way, You don't have to be like religious to know that. And yeah, it's like I don't know, like do these people like even listen to themselves? Do they like even reflect what they're saying and how silly they look? If like every Ansar, like, or even every person with an iota of reason have like everyday time to answer to them, like they would be like basically their claims would be dismantled in a couple of seconds, but we all know that like winning an argument on the internet, I mean, you can win it, but the next day that guy will be thinking like how to find their face, how to bring their face back, and basically he will come back and try some tactic to basically it's your time that will be the victim of it, and as we know, time is money, and time is basically a valuable thing, time is worth a lot more than money, if you think about it, because you can have money, but if you have money, you have to do something with money. If you don't have to do anything with money, it's better that you don't have the money. But if you have time, better do something with this time, because our time here in this dunya is limited. We are not being here in this boat forever, and we are hoping and praying that we return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the best of ways and manners. And surely we all expect that. So this is it for today. I mean a little bit short. So thank you everybody who dropped by. Thank you Eva, and thank you Sana, and thank you everybody. And see you the same place, the same time tomorrow. And see you around. And have a nice evening.